Used car, one resource that you should be using is Kelley Blue Book. Kelley Blue Book will give you the value of your car if you're trading it in. It will also give you the value if you want to sell your car outright. And then also, if you're looking for a used vehicle, it's going to give you what the price you should be paying for that vehicle to make sure that when you go to the dealership, they're not overcharging you. And so what we're going to do today is find out what is the value of our car if we were to trade it in. So once you go to Kelley Blue Book, what you want to do is click on My Car's Value. Now there's several things that you can do. You can either put your VIN number in, that's going to give you a more accurate value. You can search by make or model, or you can search by your license plate because your license plate through your registration will come up with all the features that you have. So for today, we're just going to click on make and model. And so I'm going to go ahead and put in my husband's truck because his truck is a little bit older than my vehicle. So the value, if we were to trade it in, is going to be more realistic, where mine, just depending on the miles and how new it is, we wouldn't get an accurate read sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead. His truck is a 2020. It is a Chevy, and it is a Silverado, and it's a crew cab. So this is kind of important to make sure that you get the right vehicle because a double cab is going to be lesser value than the crew cab. And then you can go ahead and put the mileage. He has pretty low mileage on his truck. His is 25,000, I would say 400. Zip code, this is really important to make sure that you have the accurate zip code because a vehicle that is used in the city might be at a lower value than in a rural area. So 7859, and then I'm going to go ahead and say go. All right, so you're going to go ahead and pick which vehicle, which style is your particular vehicle. So his is a high country and it's a shorter box. So then I'm going to go ahead and say next. Now, I personally like to select my options because sometimes you'll have a vehicle that, yes, it has all the standard options, but there were more options on the vehicle that you paid for. So when a dealership gets in a vehicle, they might pay extra for bigger tires, or they might pay extra for a tonneau cover to be already installed on it, all weather mats and so forth. So I always like to select my options. So looking at his particular truck, his has the bigger motor in it. It also has a 10-speed in it. It's 4-wheel drive. It does have hill descent. When we get into the interior, he has the head-up display. He has all of these other features. It does, in fact, have a power tailgate, and it has adaptive cruise control. Going into the exterior, it does have the surround view camera, and this was extra, but it still has the tonneau cover by Chevy. It has the oversized wheels. It has a power sunroof. It does not have a shell. And then, of course, you're going to pick your color. Whoops, why did I pick white? It's black. Okay, and then I'm going to say that I am trading in my car. And then you're going to say next. Now, you can get a cash offer. If you click on this cash offer, dealerships will actually call you and say, hey, we want your vehicle. We'll give you this much. I'm just going to get my trade-in value and say next. Now, it's going to ask you your vehicle's condition. Everybody's going to think that their car is in excellent condition. They take great care of it, but that's kind of unrealistic. Usually, you could be a very good condition, and I'm going to go ahead and say next. So it's going to take a little bit to give me the actual value. If it doesn't appear, go ahead and click this within like 10 seconds. I'll give it a couple more seconds before I click. So when it comes up, I'm not going to save this car. I'm just going to close out of there. But you could save, and I would recommend saving if you are actually in the process of looking for a new vehicle, buying a new vehicle. Now, this is telling me that I have 11 recalls. We've already done the recalls and all of that other type of stuff. And then it's going to give you the price. So with our price, we should be expecting anywhere from 40,000 to 44,873. Now, when you go into the dealership, you want to shoot for that 44,873, but do not take any less than the 40,602. And one thing that I would always do is print this out so that when you go into the dealership, they know that you've done your research on a vehicle, because they're probably going to want to give you like around like 35,000, possibly 38,000 for that particular vehicle. So it's always a good idea to make sure that you're informed before you go into that dealership. Now, let's say, you don't really need a new vehicle right now. You're going to just go ahead, put it out on your lawn, put for sale, put it on Facebook Marketplace. You're going to click on the private party. So if I were to sell my vehicle outright, notice how now I could expect anywhere from $43,000 to $47,000 for that particular vehicle. Now, if you're selling it outright, I would definitely do a higher range, even maybe, let's say 50,000, because whoever you encounter is going to want to negotiate down. So once again, I would use Kelley Blue Book whenever you're in the market to trade in your vehicle, or maybe even looking for a used vehicle, because car lots, once again, are going to upcharge their vehicle thinking that you're going to negotiate down. So you want to go in there if you're looking, let's say, for a 2020 Silverado Crew Cab High Country, you know that you should only be expecting to pay anywhere from 43,000 to 47,000. So if that dealership has it on its lot as 50,000, 52,000, you know that you have negotiation room.